I don't know what it is. New Orleans got that voodoo on the Clippers. They were up 19 in the first quarter. 18, excuse me. And now they're going to lose by 20? How? How do the Pelicans always look this good? I know they're somewhat healthy today. The Clippers are their championship. They're destroying them. And giving up an 18-point lead does not feel good. Not many positives outside of Kawhi and Garland both played, but I don't think Garland's playing tomorrow. I don't know if Kawhi's playing tomorrow. So this was the game you probably needed to win against New Orleans. Disaster. You led 18 in the first quarter, and now they're down 121 to 107. Like, they couldn't handle their pace, their force at the rim, the ridiculous off-the-bounce three-point shooting with Murphy and Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey is a 33% three-point shooter. He went 5 of 10. Insane. Kawhi didn't get enough help. Offensively, they weren't good enough after the first quarter. They started turning it over. They started fouling. They couldn't defend without fouling. Defense on their heels. I do not like losing to the Pelicans like this. Bad loss. And just like that, they're 7-4 in March. Who was that guy that tweeted at me they're going 15-3 in March? Some of this is just fatigue. Second 5-7. They had back-to-back 5 games in 7 days in March.
After this one, the Clippers fall in New Orleans 124 to 109. The Pelicans dominate the second half. After the Clippers led 40 to 26 in the first quarter, the Pelicans outscored the Clippers the rest of the way and come away with a victory. 25 from Kawhi Leonard. Clippers get 18 from John Collins. And the Clippers on the front end of a back-to-back don't get enough help. Miller with 13 for Garland on 12 shots, 10 for Isaiah Jackson. Meanwhile, 25 from Saddiq Bey, 23 from Trey Murphy, 17 from DeJounte Murray, and 14 from Zion Williamson in his 28 minutes. But don't go anywhere. Adam Oslin will be taking your calls, questions, concerns, and comments when we return. And we'll be back for one more segment, the final here at Smoothie King. Clippers fall 124 to 109. We'll be right back on the Clippers Outer Network.
The Clippers have never won in New Orleans in March since they became the Pelicans. That's real. This is coming from Joey Kimball. They are 0-5 in New Orleans in the month of March against the Pelicans. Since they changed from the Hornets to the Pelicans, the Clippers have never beat them in March on the road. My God. 0-5. Disgusting. This team. I think it's the worst loss in Sacramento also. Sacramento was the second night of a back-to-back. They just were ridiculously hot. Not that the Pelicans weren't at times. I mean, they were 16 of 37 from the outside, but I felt it was more fluky, the loss to Sacramento. This was just the Clippers got their butts kicked in multiple areas. Butts kicked. After they led by 18. 18 in the first quarter. I don't like this trend now, and it's starting to become one. Up by 14 against San Antonio early. Up by 25 in San Antonio. My guy here, Mark B-Ball, told me they were going 14-4 at worst in March. He said, I was selling the team short. I don't value defense, or do I value Kawhi's game? I said, I do value defense and Kawhi. They also have a brutal March schedule. Multiple 5-7s. The 5-7s are catching up to them now. I could see it. Clippers lose in New Orleans as they are 0-5 in New Orleans in March against the Pelicans. They lose an 18-point lead in the first quarter and fall 124 to 109. Welcome into your post-game show. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up, we will get to your post-game calls on AM 570 LA Sports. Carlo Jimenez, this is another tough one, and it's starting to become a trend with this Clippers team, giving up some leads. They were up 14-3 early against San Antonio as well. I don't like seeing this in San Antonio up by 25, but an 18-point league where maybe things came too easy for the Clippers early on in this ball game, because when things got tough, it just looked like New Orleans was beating them to the spot. They were more physical. They were more athletic, had more energy out there. And whether it was the Clippers missing on one end or not defending without fouling on the other, New Orleans really just beat them up the last three quarters.
No, I mean, they dominated, Adam. I mean, look, the Clippers outscored the Pelicans by 14 in that first quarter, or 16 in that first quarter. They got outscored by 31 the rest of the way. I mean, New Orleans, really, they ran away with this game after the first quarter. I thought it was a great start for the Clippers. Their third time this month scoring 40 in the first quarter. But Adam, you mentioned the 4 losses, and there is somewhat of a trend here in March. The Clippers have lost 4, up 18 in New Orleans tonight, up 14 against San Antonio, up 25 against San Antonio. So 3 of your 4 losses, you had a lead of 14 or more. They also lost to the Sacramento Kings. I don't think they had a lead of double digits in that ball game, but nonetheless, you cannot keep losing games when you take 14 or 18 or 25-point leads, and the Clippers did that today. You have to credit New Orleans, though, Adam. 34% coming into tonight. 5th worst three-point shooting team in the NBA. They shoot 43% in this ball game, knocked down 16 threes. And they got a great shooting performance. And then you flip it to the other side, right? The Clippers, 29% from the three-point line. The Clippers had been an excellent three-point shooting team since the All-Star break. So, you're not going to win the game when the disparity is that much at the three-point line. 21 more points for New Orleans from the three-point line. But the controllables hurt the Clippers in this one. 2 turnovers in that first quarter, 14 in the next 3 quarters, and it leads to 23 points off turnovers for the Pelicans. That really stung the Clippers in this ball game. Pelicans have been a really good team since the All-Star break. Now 9-5. They've won 6 in a row here at home. The longest home winning streak for the Pelicans this decade is 7. So they have played excellent basketball in this building. But the Clippers, too many turnovers and not enough help for Kawhi Leonard really did them in here today, along with the poor shooting from the three-point line.
The Clippers are now 0-6 after tonight in games in March on the road in New Orleans since they became the New Orleans Pelicans. Just, I don't know what it is,
I don't know.
but they have not been able to beat this team, and you felt good being up 18 early, and Kawhi had a big first half, and he got to 25 points in just 29 minutes. You knew there'd be some type of minutes restriction on him and Darius Garland, who we didn't even know if both of them were going to be able to play in this ball game. I just felt like Kawhi didn't get enough help out there offensively. John Collins had a strong start with 9 points in the first quarter. Jordan Miller ended up with 13 off the bench. I liked Isaiah Jackson's game as well. Our players to watch there, but Kobe Sanders, just 1 of 6, did hit a big three-pointer, I thought, but then New Orleans came right back, and I think Derek Queen knocked one down in the third quarter. Yeah. And the Clippers just, they broke a little bit against New Orleans, and the floodgates opened with that tough scoring on those high degree of difficulty step-back three-pointers by the Pelicans. And it looked like a playoff team to me tonight, how good New Orleans was playing out there.
Yeah, they played excellent, Adam. I mean, they shot the ball at 53% today. They missed 1 free throw, 20 for 21, and had 32 assists in this game. They played some of their best basketball. This was really impressive by the Pelicans to be able to do all this. And, Adam, the Clippers did a pretty good job of executing parts of the game plan, right? With New Orleans, #1 team in points in the paint. You have to win that battle. Clippers did. I mean, they outscored the Pels by 12 in the paint, 66-54. Got to turn the Pelicans over, turn it into points. The Clippers did. 19 Pelican turnovers led to 25 Clipper points, but it was the Clippers turnovers. It was the three-point shooting from the Clippers, and they were really unable to get a rhythm ever on the offensive end since that first quarter. A tough draw. I thought, Makovich was great off the bench for New Orleans, a plus 21 in his 25 minutes. Saddiq Bey continues to play. I mean, talk about a guy who was just a part of what was headlined as the Jordan Poole trade. And it should be now the Saddiq Bey trade, the way he has played in a New Orleans jersey. He's been so good for this Pelicans team. The good news is for the Clippers, you got them tomorrow night. But this was, and then 14 offensive rebounds for New Orleans. Obviously, it's going to be tough. Pelicans are top 10 in the NBA in offensive rebounds per game. They do that pretty well. But, the Clippers, I think you hit the headliner coming back. You can't start losing games when you're up 25, when you're up 18, when you're up 14. The Clippers have had those leads in 3 of their 4 losses in the month of March, and that really, really hurts you. We'll see, Adam. I mean, this team, second half defense has been an issue for the Clippers this season. If you look at defensive rating between the first and second halves, it has been an issue. But you got to come out. You have to split this. You have to split this series. And hopefully the three-point shooting goes your way, but the turnovers have to go your way. And you cannot allow New Orleans to outshoot you at the free throw line by 8 like they did tonight.
Yeah, and we don't know the status of Kawhi and Darius Garland if either are going to be available tomorrow, which compounds the hurt of this loss because you felt like this is the one you got to get. This is the one they were going for. This is the one they circled to at least get the split in New Orleans. So if they're missing one of them or both of them, other guys are going to have to step up. They're going to have to find a way. New Orleans, though, just licking their chops whenever they play this Clippers team, especially in March. The Pelicans in New Orleans, undefeated against the Clippers. They're 6-0. In New Orleans in the month of March in their franchise's history since they became the Pelicans. Unbelievable. They win this one, being down 18. They come back to win 124-109 over your Los Angeles Clippers. Carlo, we'll do it all over again tomorrow, except hopefully with a different result, my friend.
Yeah, 4 o'clock pregame, 5 o'clock tick. Adam, I'm going to go buy some sage, and I'll be right back here in New Orleans tonight. I'm going to go sage the building. I'll try to figure out what's going on. No, I mean, I don't know.
Please do.
It has been a tough run for the Clippers here in March in New Orleans. But you got another chance tomorrow. We'll see who's playing. One thing Ty Lue knows about his team, they fight every single night. Clippers are going to have to bring that fight tomorrow to this building. Excited for that one, Adam. Excited to talk to you tomorrow. We got another game. I'm happy. Let's go.
All right. Carlo Jimenez there on the call. Clippers lose tonight, 124-109 in New Orleans to the Pelicans. They dropped to 34-35 on the season, back below 500 now, and they're 7-4 in the month of March. More post game coming up next right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. I do think guys are starting to look fatigued out there. Lopez has looked fatigued, done. DJ, it's their second 5-7 in the month of March.
All right, we're gonna
It's insane.
All right, hey, talk to you tomorrow.
But
All right, Daniel. Cool.
you had an 18-point lead. And once it started to just get away from them in a hurry, things unraveled. Not nearly good enough. 103-7. I think a lot of it is tired legs, but man, New Orleans knows how. They know how to beat the Clippers. It is crazy. The Clippers are now 2-8 their last 10 games in New Orleans. They're 0-6 in March in New Orleans since they went from the Hornets to the Pelicans. They miss Yannick. They miss Zoo. You know, they miss Benedict Mathurin tonight. I really felt the loss of no Benedict Mathurin. Just getting easy ones in transition, getting to the free throw line. The Clippers only took 13 free throws. Mathurin sometimes gets you 8 free throws. I think that loss on this road trip, overcoming that is not easy. I really think they should feature Jordan Miller more. I felt like that start of the fourth quarter against San Antonio the other night. I definitely felt like that tonight with no Mathurin.
Take us with you on the iHeartRadio app.
Clippers without Benedict Mathurin, but they did have Darius Garland, they did have Kawhi Leonard, and they did have an 18-point lead in the first quarter in New Orleans just to lose 124-109 to a team that continues to have their number. Social, they got everything. I don't know what it is about the New Orleans Pelicans and the Clippers. They see them, and they just think about an easy dub. They play their best basketball. Clippers ended up shooting 51% from the field, but just 9 of 31 from the outside. The Pelicans, 53% from the floor, 16 of 37 from three. That's 43%. Saddiq Bey is a 33% three-point shooter. He went 5 of 10. And Trey Murphy is hitting tough step-back three-pointers. He was 4 of 12. DeJounte Murray, 3 of 7. Derek Queen hit one. Jeremiah Fears hit one. It's just, this Clippers defense was bad at times, and the New Orleans Pelicans have a different level of confidence when they're shooting against the Clippers for whatever reason. They have not shot worse than 48% the last 5 times they played them in March. And they are now 6-0 against the Clippers in their history, the New Orleans Pelicans, in New Orleans in the month of March. It's just, Ides of March. Maybe it has something to do with the Clippers' schedule because it seems to always be so brutal in March. 18 games in 31 days. They're in the midst of another 5-7 here. And guys are starting to look a little bit tired and fatigued. But they got up 18. They had a cushion. They couldn't hold on to it. And I swear, watching this Pelicans team, you would never know they only had 23 wins on the season entering tonight. Now, they were healthier. That helps, of course. But the Clippers got beat up on the boards. Pelicans with 13 offensive rebounds, leading to 18 points. And while the Pels had all the turnovers early on, the Clippers had 14 of their 16 turnovers the last 3 quarters of the game. And those 14 turnovers the last 3 quarters led to 23 points for New Orleans. And I mentioned no Benedict Mathurin. He's out the remainder of the road trip too with a right toe issue. The Clippers only took 13 free throws, 10 of 13. Benedict Mathurin is great at getting to the line. He was missed in this game. But the Clippers had enough. And I've had enough of the Pelicans, and yet they got to run it back against them tomorrow. And we don't know if Darius Garland and Kawhi Leonard are going to be available. Kawhi had 25, 46 straight games with 25 or more. He only missed 1 game after turning the left ankle. He was 9 of 12. He was great. He was going to help him out. He did have 4 turnovers, though. to just 1 assist. John Collins with 18 with a starting unit. Brook Lopez with 11. Kawhi led them in boards, though, with 8. They needed help there. Brook Lopez just 5. Darius Garland only had 13 points and only took 12 shots. And Coach Lue was trying to stagger he and Kawhi to have one or the other on the floor at all times, but it looks like they're still on a minutes restriction, so that's pretty much impossible. And by the end of the third quarter, they were both off the floor, and the Clippers were down 11 heading into the fourth. Then Garland came back in to start the fourth. Then Kawhi eventually joined. Then the Pelicans went on a run, and the game was over. Jordan Miller, 13 off the bench. Isaiah Jackson, I thought he was good with 10, but he had some bad turnovers, 4 of them. So even those 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting, he had some really bad turnovers where he held on to the ball for far too long, trying to do too much with it. As for New Orleans, Sadiq Bey with 25, Trey Murphy with 23, DeJounte Murray with 17, Derek Queen with 14 off the bench. I mean, DeJounte Murray had 11 assists himself. Garland had 6. He had 4 of those in the first quarter. At least he had 0 turnovers. The Clippers lose 124-109. More coming up next. I'm Adam Osland. We're with you for the next hour here, Daniel. We got a lot to get into, I guess. I don't know what to say. The Clippers lose in New Orleans again in the month of March. They're 0-6 in their history in New Orleans against the Pelicans in the month of March. This time they led by 18 and somehow lost big. From up 18 to at one point down 20, a 38-point turnaround. Final score 124-109 in favor of the Pels. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
We're in the market for a truck. First, get a Ford truck like the legendary Ford F-150.
You're right. They are ahead of schedule, Stump. But this road trip all of a sudden feels like a situation where they might go 1-2. And that is pretty rough. They're still in the A spot currently. The Warriors lost tonight. Phoenix lost yesterday. They're in front of them. Although Portland won.
Don't do that.
I think a lot of this is the schedule in March is starting to catch up to them, to be honest. It's just the schedule's brutal. And that leads to you losing to bad teams and teams you shouldn't lose to. Clippers without. Like I could see the Pelicans gaining steam and the Clippers running out of gas at the same time. I'll get to when this game got away from the Clippers. We'll go through it in the game breakdown coming up on Clippers Talk. That's true. Good teams lose to bad teams. It happens. Scheduled losses are a real thing. Congested schedule. Look at everybody's record. The second night back-to-backs. Typically, they're always worse. But to be up 18. I did this report earlier today. You know what? I'll play it for you guys during the break when we come back. Give me a second here. Clippers lose in New Orleans, where they're 0-6 in the month of March in their history against the Pelicans in New Orleans now. As the Pels shot 53%, 16 of 37 from the outside, and after the Clippers had an 18-point lead in the first quarter, they went on to lose by 15. Hard to believe until you look at the opponent, even with them having a record of 24-46 now. A team that is not tanking because, like the Clippers, the Pelicans don't have their first-round pick. Doesn't matter. They always get up for the Clippers, no matter the stakes, who's available. This time, they did pretty much have their full squad. Zion was out there. Sadiq Bey has had a 40-point game recently. He's been balling, but he isn't He's not a great three-point shooter. He went 5 of 10. Trey Murphy is. He went 4 of 12. DeJounte Murray's been playing better. Misi, I like coming off the bench with Derek Queen. They got size. They beat up the Clippers. The Clippers are missing Yannick. Yes, that's obvious. And I think Brook Lopez, he's looked like he's slowing down a little bit. The Clippers overall looking a little bit tired here. Tonight was, the 11th game of March. 7 more left to go. 2 more games left to go on this road trip, and they run it back against the Pelicans tomorrow. Tip-off at 5. Your pregame show starting at 4. Outside of Los Angeles, we are leaving you until then in LA on AM 570 LA Sports and on the YouTube side. More Clippers talk next. I'm going to play something for you guys. I do these reports every morning for AM 570. I think you'll appreciate this. Today's report. We know who the Pelicans are here. We know what time it is. We know how this can go. I'm going to play something for you. Here was my report earlier today on tonight's upcoming contest.
Clippers are in New Orleans taking on the 23-46. Clippers are in New Orleans taking on the 23-46 New Orleans Pelicans for the next 2 nights. So why am I hearing this? Maybe because they always struggle in New Orleans. They're 2-7 their last 9 games there. The Smoothie King Center is a house of horrors for the Clippers. Horrors. I said that right. Oh, and the Pelicans also have no reason to tank since they don't own their first-round pick this season, like the Clippers. Thanks, Joe Dumars. Oh, and one more thing. Benedict Mathurin is out the entire 3-game road trip, and tonight Kawhi Leonard and Darius Garland are both questionable. Did I mention the Clippers really struggle in New Orleans? Yeah, not an easy road back-to-back. But we'll have your pregame show right here starting at 4. I'm Adam Osland, and this is AM 570 LA Sports.
So there you go. I tried to warn everyone. Kawhi and Darius Garland both played. And they lost by 15 in a game they led by 18 in. That is disgusting. These losses to the Pelicans, no matter what their record is, no matter who is playing, the bleeping voodoo that they have on the Clippers, legendary. I'm tired of it. Garland made some good defensive plays. He had a play against Jeremiah Fears in the 4th quarter, driving left that he stuck with him that ended with Jeremiah Fears having no one to throw to, and he gave it up to Kawhi Leonard.
Show of the Clippers on the LA Clippers Audio Network.
Ain't nothing easy in the Big Easy for the Clippers. They dropped to 0-6 in the month of March when they're in New Orleans taking on the Pelicans. Even in a game where they led by as many as 18 in, they fall 124-109. Even in a game where they had Kawhi Leonard and Darius Garland both played 29 minutes in, they lose by 15. I'm Adam Osland. Welcome into your postgame show. Clippers now 7-4 in the month of March here, with 7 games left to play, including a game tomorrow in New Orleans against the Pelicans. Scary, I know, because it sure looked like with Kawhi and Darius Garland both playing, that meant this was the game they were really trying to win in this 2-game miniseries against the Pelicans. This was the one. They were going for it. This was the one. And now there seems to be a trend here. The Clippers blowing leads. It started in San Antonio, up by 25. They only led by 3 against the Kings in that home loss. But then against the Spurs at home, they led by 14 early. It was 17-3. 14 that early doesn't mean a ton, but today they led by 18 in the first quarter. and then got down by 20 in the second half. In the fourth quarter, only to lose by 15. I think part of it's the schedule. It's getting to them. I can see tired legs out there. It's the month of March. 18 games in 31 days. Not having Benedict Mathurin hurt them, but they had enough to win this game. To me, this one hurts more than the loss to Sacramento. They had Kawhi tonight, they had Darius Garland, and they had an 18-point lead. And the Pelicans played well. Don't get me wrong. But the Clippers got the complete jump on them. It looked great in the first quarter. They had more energy then. They started fast. Sometimes we worry about that. I mean, I think they had a 25-6 run during a 6-minute stretch in the first quarter of the Clippers. Kawhi was cooking. Everything was working for them. I mean, John Collins starts off the game, moves Zion Williamson out of the way for a dunk. Moved Zion. Mount Zion got moved, got bodied, got checked out of the way by John Collins. Kawhi has a layup. They're up 4-0. Garland hits a 3. They're up 7-2. Then the Pelicans rallied and took a 12-11 lead. Then Kawhi misses a fall away. Collins put back. Here comes another Clippers run. They're about to be up by 18. Kawhi has a layup, and it's 18-12. Kawhi a three-pointer, 21-12. Timeout. Now it's 23-12. Kawhi 3, left wing, 26-14. Rookie monster to the line. 29-18 after he gets an easy dunk in those free throws too. They're up 18 in the first quarter in New Orleans. And there were some wrinkles out there. Chris Dunn came off the bench. It was DJ in there with John Collins, with Kawhi, Garland, Lopez. And then Garland came out around 4.5 minutes in. Oh, I get it. They want to stagger him and Kawhi, make sure one's on the floor at all times. So he comes out early for Chris Dunn. I liked it. All systems go. Isn't this great? The Clippers are going to exercise some demons in style in New Orleans. Just dismantling them early on. New Orleans in the first quarter had 9 turnovers, leading to 9 points for the Clippers, who only had 2, leading to 0 points. I mean, the Clippers went +3 without Kawhi to end the first quarter. They were up 40-26. When did things change? Well, early second, Clippers started turning it over themselves. Isaiah Jackson had 4 turnovers in the game. He had a turnover to start the second quarter and then fouled Derek Queen on a take foul. Shot in the ball. 13-point game. Another turnover, Sanders. 11-point game. Jackson, tough layup on a reverse putback no-look shot but from Isaiah Jackson. It was insane. But then Zion Williamson gets a bucket on the other end. Now we're down to a 9-point game. Timeout. Out of the timeout, Lopez airballs a three-pointer. The Pelicans are now on a 9-2 run the first 3 minutes of the second. They ended up going -2 in the non-Kawhi Leonard minutes from the end of the first till he came back in for Kobe Sanders at the 9:40 mark. Pels get a putback. It's a 7-point game. I mean, Kawhi answers with a 3. 10-point game. Let's go. Jeremiah Fears with a floater. He is extremely quick out there. He was problematic for the Clippers. I thought at this point it was back and forth, but the Clippers were battling. They still had a 9-10-point lead. Makovich hits a three-pointer. Now it's a 6-point game. That's okay. Kawhi's got it. Long 2-pointer. He's already up to 17 points. And Kawhi misses a 3. Still an 8-point game, though. That's all right.
Sadiq Bey 3, 5-point game. Collins to the line. Clippers still up by 7. Everything's fine. Still early. We're good. Bey layup. Collins missed 3. Zion Williamson dunk. 3-point game. Just like that. DJ gets a layup. They're up by 5. You got to at least have a lead heading into the half. You were up by 18, right? Kawhi had a bad turnover looking for John Collins, rolling. And John Collins is probably on him. He slipped and almost did the splits. All of a sudden, the turnovers are coming in bunches for the Clippers in the second quarter. Murphy, it's a 3, and it's a tie game. Kawhi pull up. They're back up by 2. Murphy high floater falls to the floor to end the first half. Got hit in the head. It's 60-60 at the half when the Clippers had an 18-point lead. In that second quarter, after having just 2 turnovers in the first quarter, the Clippers had 5, leading to 8 points for New Orleans in the second. And the Clippers were just 8 of 19 from the field and 2 of 9 from 3 in the second quarter. New Orleans got more possessions. They got hot. They got some runouts. Tie game at 60. All right, new game. Start over. Third quarter. Darius Garland bricks a 3-pointer to start. He was not aggressive enough. He was not efficient enough for me. I know he's 6 of 12, but I needed more. I needed somebody else to come with Kawhi and help him out. The Pels had an early 5-point lead after Murray hit a 3-pointer on Lopez in the third quarter. They're beating up the Clippers quickly. Okay, Clippers battle back. Brook gets a bucket. Kawhi steal on Zion. Collins gets a dunk in transition. Now it's just a 1-point lead. I don't know if after the Clippers took that lead early in the third quarter, after they were tied at 60 all at the half, if the Clippers ever got the lead back. I think from that point on, when they made it a 1-point game early in the third, after trailing by 5 earlier in the third, the Pelicans led the rest of the way. That was it. It's a 1-point game at 67-66. Pels. Sadiq Bey hits that 3 to put him up by 4. And I don't think the Clippers ever recovered from that. Ow. Collins slipped again on that Bey 3-pointer. It's 70-66. Then Kawhi lost it on an inbounds play. Lopez had a good defensive play against Zion, but DJ misses a 3. Clippers are starting to miss. Murphy to the line. Pelicans also very quietly started getting to the free throw line. Clippers weren't able to defend without fouling. Collins had a nice putback on a Lopez 3. Kawhi up and under, pump fake and 1 to get him to 20 points, and it was 46 straight games, and it has been 46 straight games of 20 or more for Kawhi. That's a franchise record. Great, but it comes in a loss. Darius Garland had a shot blocked by Murphy. It should have been a goaltending in the third quarter. I'm not saying that's why the Clippers lost at all. DJ lost the basketball in transition going 1-on-2 in the third. Sadiq Bey 3-pointer. He had 11 points in the third quarter alone. Clippers down by 5. There was a moment where going into a timeout, it looked like Kawhi was grimacing a little bit. I don't know if it was the left ankle. I don't know what the minutes restriction was. We'll hear from Coach Lue coming up, hopefully. But out of a timeout, turnover, Kawhi, bad pass between defenders looking for Brook Lopez. Makovich dunk, huge throwdown on the other end, and they have all the momentum, 78-71. But Kawhi sticks a 3 right after that. The Pels miss a 3, DJ misses a 3, but then a done turnover. And then Bey hits a 3, and he's already at 11 points in the third quarter. At this point, the Pels are 4 of 8 from 3 in the third. The Clippers are 1 of 5. Makovich put back dunk. Pelicans up by 9. Timeout. 10-2 Pelicans run. It's a 23-14 run in the third quarter. They have outscored the Clippers by 9. Now, well, Kawhi and Garland are coming out of the game. It's Dunn, DJ, Sanders, Miller, Lopez. Lopez gets a bucket right out of the timeout. Thought, okay. The backups had actually been doing a really good job at the end of third quarters. They have gotten the Clippers back into games at the end of third quarters. One of the reasons they beat Minnesota recently. One of the reasons they got back into the game against San Antonio. It's 83-76. And Kobe Sanders, I thought, hit one of the biggest shots of the game. Maybe it was at that time, but right afterwards, he makes it a 4-point game, and Derek Queen hits a 3 on the other end to answer. I thought it was a big momentum shot by Kobe Sanders, but the Clippers can't get a stop on the other end. Miller gets a putback, though, off his own miss. It's a 5-point game. Backups are cutting into the lead. It was 9 when Kawhi and Darius Garland went out. Murphy, tough step back 3-pointer on DJ, like a ridiculous shot. 8-point game. Dunn misses a 3. Murphy blocked by DJ, but Dunn fouled Queen. Isaiah Jackson comes in for DJ to play minutes with Brook Lopez. There's a new wrinkle at the 157 mark. The Clippers going big. They're trying to go with more size and physicality out there. Dunn fouls Derek Queen again, going for a steal. And it was a bad foul. He goes to the line. 10-point game. Sanders misses a 3. Kobe Sanders did not have a good game. Murphy hits a 3 off the dribble on Brook Lopez, a tough 3-pointer. It's a 13-point game. Jordan Miller, lefty layup. Layup for the Pelicans as Fears goes right around Chris Dunn. Back to a 13-point game. Isaiah Jackson, tough hustle, putback dunk. 11-point game. And it was an 11-point game heading into the fourth quarter. 96-85, Pelicans was the score. They outscored the Clippers by 11 in the third. They went 7 of 12 from 3 in the third quarter. Trey Murphy had 7. Sadiq Bey had 11 in the quarter. Clippers couldn't get enough stops, and they weren't hitting and answering on the other end. To start the fourth, I saw some signs of life initially. Darius Garland came to life. He had 6 of their first 8 points, a floater to start, 9-point game. Fears hits a 3-pointer. They have already hit now 13 3-pointers. The Pelicans average 11 3-pointers made per game. And I mean, Garland is all over Jeremiah Fears on this 3-pointer. Ridiculous shot. Collins misses a 3 on the other end. Queen is fouled, hits both, 14-point game. Garland misses layup on a backdoor cut. Fears layup, 16-point game. Miller hits a 3-pointer, down to 13. Jackson blocks Messi, and he still puts it in on the other end. 15-point lead for the Pelicans. Garland goes high off the glass. Turnover Pelicans. It's 105-92 by the time Kawhi comes back in. So this time, they go from being down 9 when Kawhi left in the third quarter to now being up 13. So they go +4. Garland, another floater, 11-point game. I was happy to see that. Fears misses a 3, but Messi offensive rebound. Murphy misses a 3-pointer. Okay. Collins to the rim on Murphy. They say a goaltend on Messi, and it's an and one. It's down to an 8-point game. This is as close as it gets because Derek Queen's going to hit free throws on the other end. Jackson's going to get a dunk. Still an 8-point game. 7:40 left. Kawhi and Garland are both out there. It's only an 8-point lead for the Pels. Zion Williamson crosses over John Collins. Lefty layup, 10-point game. Miller layup over Queen. It's okay. 8-point game. They're fine. Fears is a turnover. Good defense by Garland. As Fears was driving left, Garland was all over him. Kawhi gets the steal. But Collins has a right wing 3-pointer, and he misses on the other end. And Sadiq Bey answers with a 3, his 5th of the game. He was 3. Sadiq Bey, coming into this game, was 3 for his last 25 from 3. And today against the Clippers, Sadiq Bey went 5 of 10. He is a 33% 3-point shooter. That's the stuff that is frustrating. Garland misses a layup. Bey misses, but an offensive rebound Fears as no one blocks him out. Lopez comes in for Collins. Murphy misses a 3-pointer. It's 112-101 with 5:30 left, and the game's about to end. Jackson
Isaiah Jackson, a bad turnover looking for Lopez, 13th turnover of the game. Murray has a steal on Miller, a Murphy dunk. It's a 16-point game. There's about 4 minutes left. Clippers are on the front end of a back-to-back. And Coach Lue ends up calling the timeout with 4:43 left. He gets Kawhi, Garland, Jordan Miller, Brook Lopez out of the game. Padula was out there, Cam Christie. They waved the white flag, live to fight another day. They got blitzed some more. They made it a 20-point lead for the Pelicans at the 3:53 mark after DeJounte Murray hit a long two-pointer. And we go from an 18-point lead in the first quarter for the Clippers to a 38-point turnaround where the Pels are now up by 20. They win by 15 over the Clippers, 124-109 in New Orleans. The Clippers are 0-6 in New Orleans in the month of March in the history of the New Orleans Pelicans. They can't win there on the road in March. Maybe it's because the schedule. Maybe it's because the voodoo with New Orleans and the Pelicans, and I don't know what it is. They're lost. The Bermuda Triangle's close to there, so maybe they're lost. I don't know. Quick 10-second break here. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on AM 570 LA Sports.
HD2 Los Angeles, an iHeart radio station.
Here's the problem. A lot of people are like, why can't we guard the three? A lot of these threes were very well guarded. If I take screenshots of all the three-pointers that New Orleans made, I think you're going to be very surprised by some of the shots that they made in this game. For whatever reason, they have some real irrational confidence against the Clippers. Sadiq Bey was 3 for his last 25 from the outside and goes 5 of 10 from 3 against the Clippers tonight. Maybe he was just due. He has 25. Clippers lose by 15 in New Orleans. More Clippers talk in your phone calls coming up. 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number here on Clippers Talk.
I ain't blaming the refs for this at all. I do not believe 10 of their three-pointers were wide open, and I could prove it to you if I go back and take pictures of all the threes they made. I do not believe that. They hit 16. Maybe 5 of them were open. Maybe.
Now in spacious new ready? Take a final deep and go from dreaming it to driving today. That's Jam's
Dealer inventory may hold. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends March 31st. Toyota, let's go places.
I mean, it's such a reactionary comment. Oh, the Clippers have no real offense. It's like they have been one of the best offenses in the league since the trade deadline. So they do have a real offense. They have an offensive rating with Darius Garland coming into this game of 128 when he's on the floor. You don't just throw out everything we've seen because of a bad game. Yes, it was an awful game. But you don't overreact and be like, oh, we got no offense. Like, no, they've been one of the best offenses in the league. Darius Garland coming into this game with him on the floor, they've had an offensive 128 rating. That is absolutely elite. I said their defense has been much more the problem. Their defense has been like 15th the last 10 games or so.
I feel like some people in the chat are misdiagnosing the issue here, saying, oh, we have no offense. It's just Kawhi. And, well, the Clippers have been one of the best offenses in the league post-trade deadline. They did not have a good game offensively, you could say, tonight, but they've had the 4th best offense in the league post-trade deadline with an offensive rating of 119.1. When Darius Garland is on the court, they've had an offensive rating of 128. That is elite. Their defense, meanwhile, post-trade deadline. Let me go here. Oh, they're 21st defensively. The last 15 games. 21st. I believe that's coming into tonight. So you got to know what you're looking at. Their defense has been much more the problem, not their offense. Clippers lose tonight in New Orleans, 124-109, because it's March, because they were in New Orleans and they were playing the Pelicans. They're 0-6 in those situations. Arthur calling in from Los Angeles. Arthur, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Osland.
Hey, Adam. Good to talk to you again.
Hi, Arthur.
Maybe it's the Mardi Gras down there, but
they were partying with Shia LaBeouf. I hope not.
Hope not. Anything, Adam. The comeback Clips could be. Don't you think it could be detrimental? Now it's coming back on them. Now they're losing leads in the first quarter, not in the third or fourth quarter. And that's all I have to say. And anything is Darius Garland. He's a great defender for his lack of size, but where you see him as a defender? I'll take your answer off the air as opposed to James Harden. All right, Adam.
All right, Arthur. Appreciate you. They're different. James Harden's weaknesses are he falls asleep off ball. He's not very good on the perimeter. He can't stay in front of his man, but his post defense is pretty good because of his size. Darius Garland, his post defense isn't great because of his lack of size out there, but he has good defensive principles and fundamentals out there, is quicker, is in tune with the defense. His only fault is, things that are outside of his control. He's just smaller, but he gives a much better effort. I'd say overall, he is a better defender than James Harden. There was a great defensive play he made sticking with Jeremiah Fears as he tried to turn the corner on him, I think in the fourth quarter going left, and Darius Garland, he couldn't lose him. He couldn't shake him, and he ended up throwing it away right into the hands of Kawhi Leonard. That was generated through the defense of Darius Garland. Bargov calling from Maryland. Bargov, what's up? You're on Clippers Talk.
What up, Adam? Tough L. Combo of Clips, physically worn down, not mentally focused. Healthy, full-fledged Pels team. Wonky but effective roster. They bring 3, 6, 10, 6, 11 guys off the bench with Queens, Missy, and Matkovic. Never heard of this guy. He was everywhere in the first half. Queen had 9 free throws. Yeah, they wore us down with team cardio, athleticism. They got hot from 3. Their record is really irrelevant to me. Worst done DJ game in a while. Mistakes on D.
Yeah.
Really miss Matherin's athleticism, his power, presence downhill, and switchability on defense, activity on the glass. Wouldn't hate, sitting out DG and Y tomorrow and gearing up for the Mavs because that game won't be easy either. Just got to hope Bay and Murphy go cold from 3 and, we catch a heater. So a tough game, man. But thanks, Adam.
All right, Bargov. Appreciate the phone call. Let's go to Jose in Downey. Jose, you're calling in on Clippers Talk. Some good points there from Bargov as usual. Jose, I know you can add on to that. Oh, my fault. Jose, what's up? You're on Clippers Talk. Jose and Downey.
Hey, man. How you doing? You know what? It can't be. It's definitely the defense. It could be worn down. That they're worn down from all that long stretch that they had. But also too, I think to what you mentioned, just how tough the Pelicans always play the Clippers. And hey, they're always going to play them this tough because we give them a reason to be able to play us this tough. We go into it making them feel good. So, I mean, I think my focus more is.
Did they make them feel good when they were up 18 on them in this game? That's my problem.
And
this is another level. Yeah. Like, you're up 18. You started great.
I agree. And that was going to be my very next point right before you mentioned it. You got this controlling lead, and I don't care if you're up 18 in the first. you got to put your foot on their neck already in the first. And that's what they failed to do. Now, I mean, I don't know who's going to be available to play tomorrow. Is it tomorrow or is it Thursday? I'm sorry, Adam.
Tomorrow is Thursday, my guy.
Oh my God! See, there you go. So is it Thursday or is it Friday?
They're playing tomorrow.
Okay, so there you go. Who are we gonna have available? And after the showing that they put against the Spurs, and you know, and a lot of us were there. A lot of my family was there on a couple days ago, and I was thinking, hey, if you play with that energy against any team, and then you're able to inject Kawhi with it, you should be good. And then here we go. So I at this point, it could be that they're also tired. It's just they need to stay focused. I think Kawhi said it last week. That, you know, that job's not done. Job's not done. You got to get into a play-in and get into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a great point. Kawhi was right. That's why he wasn't celebrating much. Guess what? They're back under 500, just like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I mean, I do believe they could be worn down. I do think that hopefully it doesn't look as bad as it did at the beginning of the season because they are a lot younger. They seem a lot more spirited, a lot more fight. You know, so I hope it doesn't hit us like in the beginning, and I hope they just got to regroup. So we'll see what it looks like tomorrow.
Yeah, the Pelicans have a mental edge on the Clippers. I think that's fair to say. But I thought with the way the Clippers started this game, they had the right focus to take that away from the Pels and have a chance to step on their necks, like you said. Just brutal.
Yeah. It didn't help that we didn't have a good shooting night from the three-point line. It really didn't. And I think it was 2 callers ago, somebody was saying about not having a good offense. The offense just struggled because it wasn't a good shooting night. You know, I think if you would have said, well, Garland gets me the 20-something he's been getting me the last couple of days, and if we would have had Mathurin, you know, then we would have done it. But just because we didn't have Mathurin, I don't think that they couldn't have scored. I think they could have scored. It's just the shot wasn't falling, man. And hopefully they're able to regroup. And you know, if you have some tired legs, let's try to do a little bit more damage in the paint.
Yeah, I'm with you. Great phone call, Jose. As always, Quentin calling from Los Angeles. Quentin, you are on Clipper Stock. Quentin, what's up?
Hey, just calling in, Adam. I just everyone to realize these are all professional athletes who train at a high professional level. They're highly skilled, just like the loss to Sacramento. Okay, we didn't anticipate that, but these guys are all professional athletes. Okay, so sometimes, yeah, we're gonna blow games, we're gonna have leads and not keep the lead because these are still highly skilled professional athletes. I don't care what their records of the teams are. So we need to take advantage when we do have opportunities. And that's why these games are so close. Even when we had the lead in the second quarter, I wasn't convinced with that. Because in the NBA, these teams make runs. So you know, we as Clipper fans, we've seen our team turn the season around, have this tremendous turnaround, get to 500, and now we're back under 500. But let's just be thankful with all the injuries, all the adversity that we had this season. Let's just be glad that our team is still competitive in where they are, especially considering the adversity we've had this season. Man, I've been a fan since the 84-85 season. That's a whole nother universe. You guys can't even handle that. Okay? So let's just, appreciate what we're seeing. I'm glad that Kawhi was able to. I didn't know that he'd be able to recover so fast from a sprained ankle. So I don't know what that's about, but I don't think him and Darius Garland need to play tomorrow night. I want to see Bogey play. I want to see Christie play. Nico. So yeah. So listen. I savor all the positivities that this team has shown. Okay, so I'm a little irritated with fans calling in and whining and dude, we're not going to win every game. Okay, it's not going to happen. It'd be nice. It's not realistic. Okay, these guys are high level professional athletes.
No,
At
you're
the NBA skill level.
Quentin, you're right. It's really good perspective from you. I think it's compounded by the fact that it's another loss to the Pelicans and a team you just can't seem to beat, and that's where a lot of my frustration stems from.
Okay, Adam, look, didn't we just come back against them a few weeks ago? We just came back.
They did beat them both times at Into a Dome this season.
Okay, but I mean, even with that, they are an NBA skilled team. We're not going to beat them all the time. It's not realistic. They're going to win some games. We're going to win.
All right, Quentin. Appreciate the phone call. Nah, he's right. I concur with pretty much everything you said. It's the Pelicans. You had Kawhi and Darius Garland. We didn't know if both guys would be available. They were, and you lose that game on the front end of a back-to-back. And now we're looking at a situation where at least one of them is probably not playing tomorrow, if not both. So that's what makes it much tougher. Clippers lose an 18-point lead early, 124-109 in New Orleans to the Pelicans. More Clippers talk in your phone calls coming up next here on AM 570 LA Sports.
I like that phone call.
One more break after this.
Got you. You see any post game from Coach Lue?
Let me check.
I at least saw Law has no, and it was Joey Lynn. He has something up.
Okay.
A video. I'd love to hear if anybody asked about tomorrow. He could be available, but it's probably just we don't know yet. I'll text Carlo. Was Coach Lue asked who was available tomorrow?
All right. It's got about 20 seconds from him.
Yeah, they're not in the worst spot because the Warriors have been losing. Portland did win tonight, but they're in a decent spot. Oh, G Mona has something from Coach Lue about that. Oh, he posted the whole thing. Have you go, G Mona?
Grant Mona, yep.
Yeah, G Mona 48. We can play that.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Coach Lue doesn't look happy post game, guys.
All right, I got that one.
Just like us. But I get what Quentin's saying. He's not wrong. But the Clippers lost 3 in a row now after winning 4 straight. I do think the schedule is catching up to them.
Oh, boy.
March is brutal. It's dark and full of terror.
You can receive an original chicken sandwich courtesy of Chick-fil-A SoCal. Go Clippers. This is LA Clippers basketball.
See, Mio won't tell you how Kawhi missed 10 games straight, and during that time, the Clippers went 1-9. Why bother with context?
Clippers lose 124-109 in New Orleans to the Pelicans. I'm Adam Moslin. This is your post-game show. It's Clippers Talk. Coming up, you know what? Let's get to him now. He's been on hold. Jamil calling in from Pasadena. Jamil, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslin before we hear from Coach Lue. Jamil, what's up?
Adam, my bad. I don't mean to hold you up, man.
No. I want to hear from you. I look forward to hearing from you, Jamil.
I appreciate it, Adam. I appreciate that as always. You know, my pleasantries as always. Hope all is well. Everybody, you and Clipper Nation, I know it's hard, y'all, but like the last caller said, and as you said, Adam, I agree with you. It's not the offense; it's the defense. It's clear as day. These teams have been coming back in double-digit leads and beating us by double digits. That's defense. That's us not getting stops. And on top of what you said, I agree with that when you said the scoring is stopping. You know, I seen Brook Lopez had a whopping 7 rebounds in the last 3 games, and we're talking about some offense. It's like, come on, guys, let's look at what we really need to look at. The stars showed up. No one showed up with them. No team is going to beat a team in this NBA, today's NBA, when the star is just by himself. It's not the 80s. It's a different game. It's different speed. It's a different play. And it's New Orleans. They got our number, guys. If you don't know that by now, it's called trends. They've been beating us for I don't know how long, since they was the Hornets. It seemed like, because they was down there as the Hornets. So it's like, let's not get this twisted. This is a loss. We're back under 500. This means we got to get back focused. Like Kawhi said, we should have kept ourselves in the driver's seat and kept ourselves steadfast to the plan at hand. You know, Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr., people need to step up and help them out, because on defense, they're doing everything. So on offense, let's help them out on the offense and put them in conducive positions to score. You know, helping them get to the rack, helping them get easier baskets, helping them get second chance shots in an easier position. You know, even if you hit Derrick Jones in the mismatch, if Chris Dunn on the slash on those slashes, on those cuts, we can't just sit there and try and be a team that we aren't. We're not a good 3-point shooting team sometimes, and if we don't have it going, we need to start going for the tools and going to the inside to get the easier back buckets. But guys being keyboard coaches and keyboard warriors trying to go at Adam and us and everybody else in the nation saying, it's this, it's that. It's nothing to pinpoint. It's literally a loss. We lost to the Kings, we lost to San Antonio, and we lost to the Hornets. The same exact way, guys. If you don't see it, I see it. We got to change, and we got to bite down that gum shield, and we got to put our heads down, and we got to get through that hole and keep chopping them feet until we get to that first down. Right now, it's looking ugly, but there's always light on the other side.
All right, Jamil. Well said. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. We'll do it again tomorrow, my friend.
It's all right. Adam. God bless, bro. Take care of yourself.
Coming up, we're going to hear from Coach Lue. Law Murray said they should just rest, basically, the starters tomorrow and play the young guys. We'll see what Coach Lue says about that. Coming up next, Clippers lose the front end of a back-to-back in New Orleans, 124-109. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network and AM 570 LA Sports.
Start. Start. No. The BZ brings Toyota's proven engineering, electric, with impressive.
This is a guy that does not know ball, or he has an agenda. The Clippers, post All-Star break. I'm going to put this on the screen so people can understand it. It is not the offense that is the problem. Here's the numbers. Post All-Star break. You see that? Post All-Star break. Offense, Clippers 4th best in the league. Defense, 21st their last 15 games post All-Star break. That's how this works. That's the standard. Offensive and defensive ratings. I don't know how people don't get that.
Later, it's like, surprise, your bill's double. With Boost Mobile, you pay $25 a month forever. That's unlimited talk.
I do not agree with you.
$25 a month. No price hikes, no contracts. At your local Boost store today. Get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25.
In fact, Mio can go back into timeout because the guy is so polar. Every other game, it's like they win, Mio's going nuts. He's going crazy. We ain't losing again. And then as soon as they lose, Mio is just the biggest downer in here. He was like, shut Kawhi down for the rest of the season. Come on.
Download the Chick-fil-A app and make sure your location services are enabled to claim your offer.
You got to be a little bit more level-headed. I'm not happy because they lost to New Orleans again, and it's 3 straight losses. Don't get me wrong. But They didn't win the championship every game they win. They didn't lose every game of the season with every game they lost. It's not these two extremes.
I mean, we can't even agree of what's the problem right now on Clippers talk. There's people that are just ignoring the numbers and the Clippers being a top 5 offense post All-Star break when they've been a bottom 10 defense during that time. It's pretty clear it's their defense that has been failing them. It's their defense that is letting teams back into games for the most part. I'm not saying the offense has been perfect, but when your defense is rated 21st the last 15 games and your offense is rated 4th, I think it's pretty clear the defense is much more the problem. Let's hear from Coach Lue, though, post-game after they blew an 18-point lead. 124-109 was the final in favor of the Pelicans in New Orleans. Here was your head coach.
Tonight, just turned the basketball over, and when we came in with the second unit, not rebounding the basketball, and then just got careless, just got comfortable because we had a good lead, and they was able to, start attacking us, getting to the free throw line. We turned the basketball over, and then we could never recover.
You staggered Kawhi and Darius pretty nicely in the first quarter. Why didn't he play a lot of minutes in that first half? Is that by design?
Man, I coach the floor of the game. I don't, whatever all the minutes and shit, whatever that is, that's just, I just coach the floor of the game. And so every time we get caught up in that position, we lose the floor of the game. We have a good, so whatever. It is what it is.
When you look at the game tomorrow, outside of turnovers, what are you looking to, what needs to be the point of emphasis tomorrow?
Play through the game, take care of the basketball. Yeah, that's it.
Came off the bench, 26 minutes for him. Did you like him with that second unit?
I did. I like him with every unit, what he brings. And so,
Done.
Yeah.
54 points in the paint for them. You've been giving up a lot of points in the paint the previous couple of ball games. Were you used to slowing them down and narrowing up the strength?
Yeah, but they made 16 threes. They attack, strong hand at the strong hand, like Zion getting left, Sadiq Bey getting right, DeJounte getting right, so we didn't pay attention to detail as far as, how we needed to guard them, but they played well tonight.
Coach Lue not happy, understandably. I agree with him. They got way too comfortable after they got that 18-point lead early. You could see it out there. He didn't make any excuses about, it's the Pelicans. It's just the way it goes. He felt like the team let up. He also talked about, like I did, they couldn't defend without fouling. They were getting to the free throw line. The Clippers started turning it over. I don't understand how people can stare at the numbers in the face and see that their defense is ranked 21st since the All-Star break, and their offense is ranked 4th, and think the offense is more the problem than the defense. That's just asinine. I'm sorry. You don't know ball, or you refuse the numbers. Like, offensive rating and defensive rating are pretty standardized now. Everybody uses it. Those aren't advanced stats. Clippers lose to the Pelicans 124-109. They blow an 18-point lead in the first quarter. We'll see who's available tomorrow. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call, Joey Kimball, our lead statistician, pointing out the Clippers are 0-6 in New Orleans in March since they became the Pelicans. Yeah. They'll run it back tomorrow. Pre-game right back here at 4. I'm Adam Moslin. Talk to you then.